how to handle bumps in the road with clients. This is going to happen. In a service-based business, there are going to be times where you close a project really confidently, and sometimes things just don't go as planned, whether something comes up on the client's end, something comes up on your team side of things, or if the numbers just aren't coming back or the results aren't coming back like you'd hoped. There are 1,000 reasons why a project can go off of the rails. When that happens, we have to handle it very, very specifically so that we can get things back on track and make sure our clients actually feel really safe, really comfortable, and really confident moving forward with us and being able to actually complete the project or the service that is happening. So I see this all the time, day in and day out, with hundreds of companies that we worked with over the last 7 years to really streamline their operations. We work with a lot of service providers who tell us something comes up, or the client doesn't answer our email on time, or they don't fill out the intake form, or somebody on our team went out sick, and all of a sudden the deliverables of the project are set back by a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it starts to eat into your margins. It starts to create some fires behind the scenes in the business, and everybody feels like they're scrambling. The relationship often suffers. The relationship between the business and the client, and the relationships internally inside of the team, right? Lots of fingers start getting pointed at times, and it really does feel challenging to try to recover from issues with clients. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what to do when a problem arises with clients inside of the company and how to handle that in a way that feels like it's mutually beneficial, and so that you can move forward confidently and trust each other that you are going to do your best ever to not have it happen again. So first, I'm going to tell you a really quick story. I was listening to a podcast recently about a marriage counselor, and he was telling the audience listening that oftentimes in repairing a broken marriage, the process of repair is actually more beneficial than the actual repair, which means two people willing to work something out and having a process for mending a relationship is actually more valuable to the relationship than the solution that everybody arrives to. And I want you to let that sink in, because if you have a process in your business for problem solving and fixing problems with clients, the process through which you go through and how intentionally you approach that is actually going to tell your client more about how invested you are in their eventual success than whatever result you create for them after the fact. And understand, the power of process is huge here. So if you don't have a process in your service business for any time a client inquiry or question or maybe even slightly aggravated email comes through, we need to make sure that we do. It's often true that the very first thing you need to do is acknowledge. Say, yes, you are right. Even if there may be a position where they didn't do something they were supposed to do along the way, we want to agree with them, right? We want to form an agreement together, and we want to say, yes, you are right. I often find that this acknowledgement is best in the first few hours of, the client kind of waving that flag. You want to respond as quickly and as meaningfully as humanly possible so that they don't sit there after firing off an angry email or making an angry phone call wondering, did we get this email? Did they understand where I'm coming from? And can they acknowledge that I'm in a place where I'm actually not as happy as maybe they think I am? When something like that comes up with a client, you want to acknowledge, agree, and do so quickly. And then the next is to create an opportunity to connect with them. So phase number 2 is connection. I often find that carving out a piece of time, if you serve clients one-on-one and in person, creating a quick coffee chat or getting together for a green juice could be the way. Even something as simple as creating an opportunity to jump on Zoom with them. I prefer that when something comes up with clients, especially if they have been on retainer with me, we've built a relationship together, I like to get that one-on-one and like to do it face-to-face, whether that's on Zoom or in person. Create that connection. Show them that you're serious about helping them solve that problem and that you really are there to listen to their side of things, and do that. The third phase is to actually listen to them. Listen to the problems. I find that when you really listen to what your client is asking you to do, 9 times out of 10, it isn't outside of the scope of what you've originally provided. What it is just it's a communication breakdown more times than not, especially in a service business. If you are a marketing team, for example, folks are hiring you to do their marketing because they have no idea what they're doing. They don't understand digital landscape. They don't understand digital marketing, funnels, ads, all those things. And so oftentimes they feel a little left in the dark, and really listening to how they feel can help you do 2 things. First is help you build trust with your person person, right? Your client can understand you're invested, you've responded to them quickly, you are listening to their problem, and you really are co-creating or attempting to co-create a solution with them. Now, when you're listening to them, also be hearing the second biggest thing, which is what you can improve upon behind the scenes in your communication sequences, in the way that your team handles things, in the timeliness of your delivery. Feedback from our clients has been the number one accelerator at Operations Agency to make sure that we are meeting the demands of our clients and doing so in a way that they want. We want to be able to support them, and sometimes that means that we need to educate them a little bit along the way around what we're doing, kind of pull back the curtain and help them understand what's going on so that they don't feel like it's been 2-3 weeks and they haven't heard from us, even though we're diligently working on our timeline. They don't understand that. So listen to them and listen for ways that you can be improving. Fourth and finally, I love this really elegant framework. And what I often say is whenever you go into a meeting with a client, with a teammate, with anybody that you want to try to co-create a solution with, I like to remember what one of my coaches taught me, which is the 1-3-1 rule. One problem, 3 possible solutions. Which one is your favorite? So if the client comes to you and they say, I have a problem, our website, you said it would be live in the first month, and now it's 6 weeks later and our website isn't live. What you say is, I understand. That's super frustrating. And I personally agree with you that if I was in a position where I was told my website would be live in 4 weeks, I would also be upset if it was week 6 and it wasn't. And I would love to hear from you on what we can do to move forward so they can tell you what they think they should do, what they think you should do. And then you say, hey, listen, the problem is we didn't get the website to you on time. 3 possible solutions are boom, boom, boom. And then here's the one I actually think we should move forward with. What do you think? And then it feels like it's co-created. There's a wonderful, wonderful audiobook called Expectations versus Agreements by Steve Chandler. And it shaped a lot of the ways that I communicate with my team, a lot of the ways that I communicate with my clients, and we advise our clients to do the same thing. If you co-create an agreement with someone versus thrust an expectation on them, right? If we get on the defensive and we say, you didn't fill out your intake form on time, and you didn't get us your graphics on time, and we didn't get access to your Squarespace or your WordPress account until 3 weeks in, so how are we supposed to deliver a website in a week? That is thrusting expectations, and it's going on the defensive instead of going on the offensive and saying, hey, listen, this is a setback, but we can play to win. We can still play to win. And it's going to make the absolute difference in how you structure your problem solving with your clients. I hope that this was helpful. I think there are so many ways that you can make this immediately implementable to you. I love to hear you win. So please share with us. Follow along on our channel. Share with us below what you have decided to implement in overcoming some of these obstacles with your clients. And I'll see you guys next time.